Okay, so I just got off work, which is why I'm really dirty and still wearing my work stuff. But I'm currently on my way to possibly pick up a pretty substantial retro haul, which is funny because I just picked some stuff up just like 2 days ago from a local computer shop. But this was kind of a weird situation story that I basically got cold call or cold texted out of the blue from somebody who had to track down my number and says he has some Tandy stuff. So I'm immediately interested. So I'm actually on my way to go check out what he has, and more likely I'm going to snag it because it's just something that I don't think I can pass up right now in terms of what it is anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go see what it is, and well, if I get it, you'll see the aftermath, because I'm going to be putting it down in my basement when I get home with all of it. So yeah, let's go see what's all there. That's a retro haul now. That's a lot of Tandy. All right, and here we go. This was everything in that Tandy haul that I mentioned. Well, it's been a couple days now. It was actually quite fun to try and get all of this into my car, and then one at a time getting all this into my house, and then schlepped down here into the basement. It's been about 2 or 3 days now. These have just been sitting upstairs. I've been really antsy to get these down here and away from upstairs so that my kid doesn't try and rip these boxes up, because this is not something I expected. I mean, he told me there was some Tandy stuff, but I was not expecting this much, nor was I expecting them to be in their boxes. I mean, especially when he said that, I'll talk about it later, but the story is that the guy I got these from, his brother-in-law, was a hoarder, and usually hoarder houses are not, I mean, it was all very well organized. There was just a lot of stuff. And he said there might even be more computer stuff in the upcoming days and weeks as he's trying to help clear out the house. But yeah, the fact that they're all in their boxes is just, this is amazing. They're not new in box, anything like that. So don't need to worry about that. They are all, he said they're all a little bit dirty because, you know, they were used. So they're all going to need restored. They're all going to need tested at some point. That's going to be a future thing because obviously I still have my work stuff on. I need to get time to tackle all this stuff. I might do these in either separate videos, or I might just tackle them all at once. I don't know yet. But there was a couple more little things I got during this retro haul. Actually, it was like 2 days before this text came that I got some other computer stuff. So I'm going to show all that real quick, and then we're going to do, and then I'm going to, well, change my clothes and then get properly ready to record some of this stuff, because this is amazing. All right, so here's all the vintage retro finds from the week, and literally I'm gonna say a week because this stuff I picked up, it was last Friday I believe. The following Monday I get a text for this stuff, and I pick it up Tuesday, and I just got down here in the basement. It's Thursday night now. But yeah, there's a lot more here than I was expecting to have ever found in basically 1 week. I'm really antsy and excited to get, especially to tackling the Tandy stuff. But yeah, we're gonna rapid fire through the stuff real quick, see what's all here, and then maybe I'll decide what I want to do in terms of like testing stuff or unboxing, because I'm excited. All right, so first off, we have the stuff from the computer shop. Like I said, this came, I think, Friday. I got a call about, Wednesday, and they said, hey, we have some more computer stuff here for you. It's too old to use, but we know you like this kind of stuff. So starting from the top, we have just a plain generic brown box here that says 99/4A, and yes, this is a TI 99/4 in its box. In fact, I think this is I don't know when this box would have came out. It doesn't seem like it's a repackaged box or anything like that. It seems like it's the actual box. But yeah, it's an early model 4A. It's the black and silver. It does need cleaned up and restored. But I'm actually really excited for this because I do have that beige TI-99/4, which is the later version. This is the earlier version. It's not these just plain /4 with the chiclet keys, thankfully. Even though I think it'd be kind of neat to have one. Those are kind of rare, and can't wait to restore this thing because then I'll have the beige one and an original black and silver one. This gorgeous thing here is a Gateway Home Theater PC, an HTPC from, I just said it, Gateway. No idea of the model number yet. I need to look it up. It doesn't say on the back or nothing. There's just a sticker on the back that says Windows XP Media Center Edition 2004. We have a Windows XP sticker, and then we have a hyper-threaded Pentium 4 sticker. So this is, I believe, around the time of it says 2004, so 2004 and earlier, 2003. I'm not quite sure what's in it in terms of parts. I don't even know if it works. And honestly, I don't know if what I'm going to do with it because, as you can see, here's the back of it. It has a non-standard motherboard I/O plate, so there's really almost no way to install another motherboard here without cutting up the chassis. And I also see here that there's supposed to be a capture card here. It looks like we have FM in, TV in, S-video in. So some sort of capture card, and somebody's replaced it with an Ethernet controller. I'm not sure why, because it has Ethernet right here, so maybe this is a gigabit one, but gigabit was around during this time, so I don't know. We do have a video card that looks like it's the original one, the modem card, and the original sound card, so I don't know what's in here yet. I don't even know if there's a hard drive in here. It's probably just going to be, I don't know, strip for parts or something. Maybe if I can get it to work, maybe I'll try out Media Center, what is it called for, I think? Yeah, 2004. So, yeah, future project. Maybe. Alright, next up is this really cool Compaq Prosignia desktop. I have not actually heard of the Prosignia, but yeah, I have ProLineas, I have Desk Pros, Presarios, so it's not too uncommon that there'd be a name that at least starts with P from Compaq. I don't know the full specs, I haven't really done too much digging into it, but the sticker up here does say Windows 98 2nd Edition, and it does have a Pentium 3 sticker with support for Windows 2000 Professional, Windows 98. So this is somewhere around the time of I believe 99, maybe 2000. And because it's this is kind of a neat chassis because there's rubber feet on the bottom. There's also rubber feet on the side panel. So this thing could technically either be stood up vertically or horizontally here and have a monitor sit on top for space. That's actually really nice. We do have one upgrade. It looks like a Zip 100 drive. This annoys me. I have so many of these Zip 100 drives that I need to use, but I don't have any Zip 100 discs. I have the 750 ones, but I don't have any Zip 100s, and I don't think you can even format those as 100, I don't think. That's okay, that might be I don't even know if it's going to work or not, but it might be a parts project. Well, actually, wait. I just saw the sticker, I didn't realize this. We have a PS330 P550E. So if any naming schemes to go by here, it might be a 550 megahertz Pentium 3, which would be interesting because I don't think I have that exact model of Pentium 3. Not that I'm trying to find all the, Pentium numbers, but, it's still kind of, it'd be neat to see how this thing performs anyway, if it works. So, a future project. All right, and lastly, we have a Compaq Presario 6000. This is definitely from the early 2000s with that silver vent style and the black and the gorgeousness. This one actually does have some specs here. And I'm excited for this because this has an AMD Athlon XP processor 2000. So that means this thing should have a 462 board in it. And I'm crossing my fingers that it works because in previous videos I've mentioned I want to build an XP based tower off that platform, but I have 5 boards that don't work and a whole bunch of CPUs that don't work. So I need to find something that works. I guess if all else fails, I guess the power supply might be good. I don't know. 256 meg of RAM, 4GB Ultra DMA hard drive, CD-ROM, CD-ROM. And we have, integrated GeForce 2 graphics with 32 megabyte allocated as video memory with 10100 fast Ethernet. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably going to be a parts machine because I am pretty well betting that there's going to be some bad caps on there, so we'll have to see. Alright, now to the meat and potatoes of my retro haul, because this is just outstandingly awesome. We're going to start with the smallest box and work our way to the biggest, because there's just there's a lot here to unpack, so let's just start over here. So we have a box of Tandy branded 3.5-inch double density drive floppy disks. All right, so in the box of floppies we have looks like some unused ones because there's no writing on them, with some new labels, which is very nice. But we also have Personal Deskmate 2 version 1.00.00 whatever, Tandy 1000 HX Dad. We also have Mom. So these must be 2 personalized versions of Deskmate, like they might have personal information files on them for each one. You know, maybe Dad was doing something and Mom was doing something else, and they didn't want to have. They just wanted their own separate versions, which is kind of neat, I guess. They're the same version though. Yeah. Catalog number 25-51053 and version 1.00.00. I don't know what version's online actually. I need to look that up. We have a blank one here, which probably should be in the bag. PFS file, a database program. So yeah, probably doing some database-y stuff. Probably personal information. So I'm not ever going to show what's on here unless it's just a copy of the main source program disk. We'll have to see. Then we have again a mom and dad version of Tandy 1000 HX version 02.11.26, so DOS 2.11. Mom and dad, both with GW Basic, so they must have their own files on here or something, like their own autoexecs or whatever. Might be why they have 2 separate ones. Like maybe one boots up in like 80 column, one boots in 40 column, one boots, you know, maybe stuff for whatever. I don't know. Same catalog number though as the Tandy Deskmate, so this must be copies of the original software that came with the Tandy 1000 HX. Hopefully the original floppies are in one of these boxes. If not, I'll have to download them offline and rewrite them. So I have non-personal information floppies. All right, we also have a Tandy Deluxe joystick. Yeah, this is so cool. I've actually been looking for one of these for my well, just to have, because these are kind of an iconic joystick. They work with all the Tandys that support this joystick standard. I believe even the TRS-80 Model 1 can use these, I believe. I don't know. I actually don't remember if there was a joystick port on the back of the TRS-80 Model 1 or not when I did the SEP Tandy last year. I guess we'll have to see. But it'll work with all the Tandys, including my TL2, my RLX HD, and the 1000 HX, which we'll get to in a second. But yeah, it needs cleaned up and restored because that is very, very yellowed, and you know, I hear these things are kind of getting fragile nowadays with the plastics and the springs. So yeah, we'll have to just see. All right, in the next box is the Tandy 5.25 360K external disk drive, catalog number 25-1060B, and this is very straightforward. It's just a external 5.25 360K floppy drive. I don't know the full compatibility with this drive. I know that this would work on some of the Tandy 1000s, but I don't know exactly what models it will and will not work with. I think there's something proprietary with it because it does have a proprietary connector. But yeah, it's all here in its box, foam. The edge connector, which is proprietary to the Tandy 1000 line. This might even work with the original 1000. I don't know. I didn't do any looking into this when I started making this video. I just literally got the stuff in my car, in the house, and then in the basement here. So when I do unboxings of this stuff, I'll do a lot more research and actually make it sound like I know what I'm talking about. All right, up next is a TRS-80 Color Computer 2. Yeah, Tandy Radio Shack CoCo2. I have been trying to find any of the CoCo line for my retro computer collection, just because there's such a neat 8-bit computer from the time frame. Went up against the VIC-20, the Commodore 64 in some ways, and the Atari 400, 800 in terms of price points. But yeah, I just never could come across one. There was one on my local marketplace, but it was untested. It looked pretty dirty, and you know, she knew nothing about it, but she was also asking for what I felt was way too much for any 80s 8-bit that, you know, should be pretty common. But yeah, this is actually really cool. It's in its box, it's in its bag, it's got the foam still. Looks like we got a cable, switch box, and it does look like it's fairly yellowed. The light's not showing it very good, but yeah. Color Computer 2. I can't wait to play with this thing if it works. Because yeah, I have no idea of the working state of any of this stuff, because it wasn't a hoarder house, and God knows the state it was in when it was boxed up. Alright, up next is something I'm really excited for. A Tandy 1000HX. I have been wanting to really find one of the quote original Tandys for quite a while, and I'm really glad I came across one of these all-in-one speakers. These are kind of compact and neat. They're a PC clone that is really small and space saving. They're technically an all-in-one, even though they don't have a screen built in, but they do have the storage, disk drive, keyboard, all that kind of stuff that kind of technically makes them an all-in-one. Yeah, and when I say true Tandy, my RLX HD that I did a video on a while ago, yeah, this one in particular, which I'm getting set up, it's not technically quote a true Tandy because it's a later 8086 powered with VGA graphics, and the Tandy graphics are kind of like a backwards compatibility thing, but also uses a completely different sound system than the Tandy 1000s. But this Tandy 1000HX here is a true Tandy because it actually uses the 16 color Tandy graphics and the 3 voice sound chip. So this is actually kind of what I was looking for. Yes, I have that TL2. It still doesn't work. I've been messing with it, tweaking with it, trying to get it to work, and it doesn't want to pass any posting. So there's something weird going on. Monitor and platform not included. I wish I had the platform because I really don't think I trust to put a heavy monitor on top of that 40-year-old plastics. But it is a PC compatible with 256K of expandable RAM, my MS-DOS built in for fast loading, built-in 3.5-inch 720K disk drive, expandable with disk drives, modems, and more. And it includes Personal Deskmate 2 software. Yeah, like I said, I hope the floppies are in here for that. Otherwise, I got to track down the images somewhere online. Speaking of monitors, we have the Tandy 25-1023C, the RGB color monitor CM5. Now, I do know a little bit more about this monitor because I actually found one pretty local, but the guy wouldn't sell it unless he had everything with it. He said there was a Tandy computer with it, he says there was games, he says there was floppies, but he never got a hold of me, and then when I tried to get a hold of him again by going to whatever shop he worked at, the shop is now closed down, and I have no idea where he went. So I was doing some research into it. This is not the most well-desired of the Tandy monitors. The CM11 is much more desirable because it's more of a higher resolution, with much smaller dot pitch. This has a bigger dot pitch, so there's some people that don't like it, but at the same time, it's a basically RGB CGA monitor, so it should work just fine for my purposes. And yeah, it's in there, and it's in the foams, so yeah, hopefully it works. Because if it does, that means I'd have two CGA monitors, one for this if it works, and also the TL2 once I get it working. Or I could also put this on top of the PCXT and run CGA games when I get that one working. So either way, I have two CGA monitors now. And lastly, we have this monstrosity here, Tandy DWP-230 daisy wheel printer. Now, I've said before, I don't collect printers because not only do these things take up a lot of space, but trying to find parts for them, or find cables, or find anything for them is always a pain in the butt. But this one's a branded one, just like the Apple II Image Writer 2 and that Texas Instruments printer that I have also. They're branded ones, so there's a lot of documentation of them. Plus, I actually looked it up. You can still buy the ribbons for these things. They're about 10-15 bucks, so yeah, I could get this one working and run it with the 1000HX. The only thing is, this is not a small printer. I thought the box was just overdone with packaging, but no. It fills the box. It absolutely fills the box. And I have no idea how wide that platen is, but that is a wide platen. This thing makes that Image Writer 2 seem like a toy. And I can't wait to hear this thing run, because it's a daisy wheel printer, and these things sound amazing in YouTube videos. So I can't wait to power it up myself and at least do a self-test, because I want to hear it. So yeah, that's the retro haul for this week, and I am absolutely just ecstatic and over the moon. I came across stuff I did not think I was going to come across, at least all at once, and that's not even including these three towers with the TI-99. I have been looking for one of the original style Tandys, or at least the original hardware spec Tandy 1000s. I've been hunting for a CoCo for a while. another CJ monitor I've been trying to find, so I have some more variety here. I'm just ecstatic and over the moon that all this stuff was basically found within not only just a week of each other, but at the same place. And like I said, he thinks there might be more there, so I am really going to be watching my phone for when he texts or calls and says, hey, get your butt to this address, I have more, because I'll be driving there in a heartbeat. But yeah, I'm getting actually a little impatient about this stuff, because I want to crack into this stuff and see what works, what they need. You know, who knows, because I know they all need clean, definitely. I did actually post a picture of this on YouTube, Instagram and Threads, and even Facebook a few times, and I basically was just, you know, like, hey, should I unbox them all at once, or should I individually unbox them for registration for videos? But that would almost seem like I'm milking it. So yeah, but I'm gonna start with the CoCo2 at some point and then work my way to the Tandy. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Put down in the comments if you have any information or knowledge about any of these machines here, any, you know, need to have upgrades or updates, modifications, whatever, you know, maybe how to use them, how to check for certain things, because yeah, I'm gonna be doing some research on them, but yeah, we'll have to see what I come across and what I can find. And that being said, again, thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.